What's going on, people? This is No Labels Podcast. I am your host, Willie G. I got Miss Audrey in the building.
Hey, y'all.
Got the Queen in the building, Miss Keandra.
Hey, guys. Hey, girl. Hey.
We're going to start it off real quick. First off, how you doing, Miss Audrey?
I'm good. Like I was just saying, I am smack dab in the middle of the first day of 2 days off in a row.
So you feeling
from the boutique work, from retail work.
You feeling good?
I'm feeling great. But I still got some client work to do, and then I'm going to drive home to the country, Twiggs County, Georgia, to spend a day with my mom.
Okay.
Yep. And I think I might pop in. It's a event venue called 44th and Madison in Warner Robins, Georgia. It's owned by Mello and Brittany Brown, and they got this phenomenal movement that they're building. And I think they have an open mic, and my close friend Sherelle Clay, my soul sister, is hosting. I tried to call her earlier, so if she sees this as a surprise, I'm trying very hard to be there tomorrow for the open mic. But yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay. No, I'm chilling. I got an icebreaker I'm gonna jump off with, but the name.
Listen, we ain't prepped, so I don't know what he about to throw in for the icebreaker.
Name of the episode is "Comfort is King" or "Is Comfort King."
Is Comfort King?
Is Comfort King? We're gonna talk about it.
King
but
of what?
The king of
Do
what?
you want to live in that kingdom?
Comfort is king. I like to be comfortable. We like to be comfortable, but it's like we're gonna dive into it. But you know what I'm saying? Just to get the balls, just to get it rolling.
All right.
A couple stuff been happening. First we gonna talk about the baby on the cross getting rocks thrown at him.
Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that?
We gonna.
What y'all think?
What was? I can give you my thoughts. You can give me your thoughts.
You go first, because I still don't know if my thoughts have fully landed.
Me personally, I thought it was unnecessary. I mean, I know what he was trying to say, but it's like you ain't had to use that example, in my opinion. Yeah, but I guess he was trying to say people throwing rocks at him like they threw rocks at Christ. But it's like, come on, man. To me, that's when the system gets unfair. Because if you say anything out of the way nowadays, y'all know what I'm saying. Anything, we got people getting canceled left and right. But you got people who can use the center of our faith as an example for them. I think that's weird.
Or entertainment, or
that's weird to me. But that's my little thought on that. I got a couple more, but what's your thoughts?
I agree. It's specifically coming from a person, where Christ is the center of our faith. I think it's disrespectful, but I do understand that is the perspective of someone who says, I follow Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Also, why? Was it necessary?
It's the clout, boy.
Is it for clickbait? I got somebody in the comments saying this isn't the first time referencing himself like that. Here's my thing with that. If you're going to reference yourself as Jesus at a certain point in your life, then we're going to have to run the transcript on the prior parts of your life.
Yeah.
Because Jesus was the one who, walked blameless in the earth, and just made kingdom decisions and chose above all to follow his father, even though he experienced the same trials, tribulations, temptations, pain, sorrow of life that we do, as an example. But the baby, why? I really enjoy your artistry, your talent, but real, why?
I like your music. I like your music.
It's so unnecessary. I don't want to open this can of worms again, but I'm gonna say it and we're gonna get out of it. But sometimes it's just like,
oh Lord,
do we there's, and you in the word sports, you a rapper.
Yeah.
So was there not another way to convey whatever you thought this was conveying? And the thing I didn't want to go too far in, but when Pastor Mike Todd, then Hawk spit all over this man's face, I'm like,
oh yeah,
it is an illustration from the word, but we would get it. I promise you, we would have got it without that level of demonstration.
That was wild.
So my point is, the baby, whatever point you were trying to make, was there not another one that could have been true to what you feel without also simultaneously being disrespectful to a community of faith? Or also, is it clickbait? Do you have to do these big displays and grand gestures to stay in the headlines. And I don't know. I don't want to project that on him or anybody, but it makes me ask those things because it's just like, forget the offense, forget the disrespect. Just why?
Question: do you think grace can be extended to him?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. That's not of course.
It's not about how far grace extends.
But it's just
we don't want. Listen, my answer to that is going to always be yes.
Yeah.
I don't care what the extreme is. Can grace extend? If it couldn't, our God wouldn't be worthy.
Yeah. Grace can.
So absolutely,
grace can definitely extend, but we just got to speak up. Like we're not just about to let you know what I'm saying, like over and over again. But on to the next one. We're gonna lighten it up a little bit because I can tell you about to open up.
Also to the point you were making, it's just like, and I've heard people say this for years, and I agree with it. Like we protect everybody from offense except
people offend the faith. Yeah, it's like, come on now.
And this is rooted in hundreds, centuries of this is the cornerstone of our faith for centuries.
Yeah.
And then you got new movements popping up that are demanding that they not be disrespected when so much of it is like, we this is new to all of us, so forgive me if I misstep on language that you're still writing.
Yeah.
Forgive me if I'm not fluent in a language that you are still actively writing. Forgive me if this thing that was fully okay just 20 years ago is now grounds for termination and cancel now.
Yeah.
And it's just like you're struggling to keep up. But this thing that has been just seriously the heart and soul of this faith for the existence of it, it's just like we can't get that off limits.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta be able to stand up for yourself.
I got several perspectives.
I got a lot.
What else you got on that? The baby. My question is why.
Yeah,
why?
It's the clout.
And here's the thing. Even if you feel like whatever you've been the target of or under attack for has made you feel like that at that level, was this display? How is this display helping you get through it? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, did that fix anything? It's almost like if you super like mad and you fighting and you throw something and you break a vase or something, and we still mad now. We got a broken vase. Like, did it help you with anything?
I done did it. I ain't gonna lie.
You really are feeling however you felt to make yourself. You want to put a cross on stage in a diaper and have people throw stones.
Yeah, it's like, bro.
I just don't. From the offense of the faith, I absolutely get, like, that's just disrespectful.
Yeah.
But then also, I know how to move around disrespect in offense. But
you got to be able to.
My question is still like, why?
You got to
baby.
You got to be able to move. You got to be able to move around it, extend grace, and just.
I would reiterate that the question, like, does grace extend? Absolutely.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, that's the gospel is that, but it's like you can't be. I won't say a pushover, but you ain't got to be cowardly. You know what I'm saying? To love you too. But this one, then we're gonna roll in. I got a couple questions.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Hit them quick. Keanu, you can answer it too. Who is more important? Who is more influential in the black community right now? Your opinion. You got a minute.
Is there
2
a
minutes.
list? Is
I'm about to tell you.
choice?
No,
okay.
it's out of two people. You got options. You got options. Tyler Perry or Jay-Z? Who is more influential? I ain't say rich. Influential. And then that Tyler Perry or Jay-Z? Who you think? What you going for?
Oh, I need you to answer first because I might get some backlash from my answer.
Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna go second.
You gonna go second?
Go first. Somebody else go first.
So I would say Tyler Perry.
Is this in the black community or like the black
faith
community?
Yeah.
In the black community, period.
Okay, black period.
Black community, period. Yeah, in the black.
I think Tyler Perry, because Tyler Perry has both of them have a rags to riches story. Tyler Perry slept with his car, Jay-Z sold drugs, but I say Tyler Perry because Tyler Perry, he touches a lot of us with all his plays that he's done. You can find yourself and you can find a relatable situation in his movies. That's how I feel. I feel like, and then he has been at the bottom. He played Medea. He didn't play what's the grandpa name? I don't know, grandpa, whatever his brother is.
Yeah.
So he has played so many roles, and so now he's not in front of the camera. He's behind the camera now. So I feel like he did his work. He paid his due, and he opened up a whole lot of doors and opportunity. He got Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta. He has built a whole empire. He built a table for himself. When Hollywood said no, he was like, okay, I'm going to make my black Hollywood. So he built a table for himself. So I say Tyler Perry.
Okay.
Good answer. Good answer.
I'm
Good
gonna.
answer, good answer.
So Keanu says Tyler Perry. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say right now. I would say Jay-Z. I would say Tyler Perry is becoming it. It was only reason because now he is basically making his own Black Hollywood. So it's like after a while he gonna be through the roof above everybody. I mean he doing crazy things, but I just think like influential wise over the black community. I don't mean like the black faith community, of course, Tyler Perry, but as far as the black community, I'm going Hov. You know what I'm saying? As far as being influential. What you thinking?
I'm thinking so many things. Oh my God. I think that's a tough one. I think as far as influence of mindset, they both heavy hitters, but I gotta lean towards Jay-Z. And here's the thing that makes it tough to answer is Jay-Z does a lot, but he's not noisy about how he moves. And I don't think Tyler Perry is either. He just has a more public platform of what he does. But you got to go and dig to see the depth of Jay-Z's reach in a different way, I think.
Yeah.
Tyler Perry, his impact is undeniable.
I would say Tyler.
I feel like he's more touchable.
I would probably say that too. But also, I will admittedly, to you, the points you were making, I don't find as much resonance with Tyler Perry's work as a lot of people do, and probably the majority of his fan base. A lot of his stories just don't resonate with me because they're just really outside of my frame of reference. I've been adjacent to it, but I haven't been quite in it like that. There have been a few where I'm like, okay, I get that, but the majority of his work, there's not that deep personal resonance for me that I see with so many people, so I can't deny it, but I also don't feel it this way. Yeah. But from someone who really loves the world of and the impact of filmmaking, what he has done, and then considering that we live in Georgia, and the opportunities that has opened up for Black people because of his vision and what he decided to do, undeniable. And again, as far as touching more people, we can see in a different way the opportunities and jobs and dream chasing that people have been able to go after because of the doors that he's opened up, especially in this region of the country. And the thing I will say that it's hard for me to look at them because the genres are so different. You know, again, so from a thought philosophical space, I got to give the Jay-Z, but from a practical go get it kind of space, Tyler Perry is right there. And then one thing that really, as far as something that he did outside of his work, as far as the stories he tells, but the people who he chose to name his sound stages after was such a grand display of honor and respect and excellence to people in that industry that made major moves but still haven't been fully celebrated. It's just like, you know what, we're not going to let this go. So it's just, that's a hard one. Whoopi, like Diane Carroll, it's amazing. But I also feel, this is the part that might make people feel whatever.
Another thing too, I want to add.
Go ahead.
I feel like Tyler Perry, he really speaks to a big poverty mindset too of Black people too.
In what way?
A lot of his movies are catered to single Black parents. Daddy left. You got daddy issues with mommy.
That's
issues.
Again a lot that I can't relate to.
There's a lot of Black poverty.
But he be doing like a lot of his joints like the same type. But he do got his tribe. Like Tyler Perry got his tribe.
He does, and I remember one day one of his movies opened in Savannah, and I was there for opening night. I forgot which one's in theaters, and we were in the middle of the recession, and you could see the turnout. And I remember saying out loud, I was with my home, I was like, "This is the anointing of God." Yeah. Like this turnout, this support, like, and this is just in our city. Imagine if every city around the world, in the middle of whatever, you know. So I think that's huge. I also sometimes, and I'm going to choose my words very carefully, I sometimes worry that even though, like, I don't take, this is not to take away all of any of the good that he does and has done and continues to do, but sometimes I have a bit of concern that as his platform and the eyes on him has grown so much, I think it's opened the door to make fun of our faith in a dangerous way.
What you mean?
I wish I had some words. I didn't know you were going here. But just sometimes I feel like some of the things that we do in Black culture and Black church, that some of it really does have that's rooted in real faith and belief in spirit-led things, but you can also mimic it, without understanding. Yeah. And then we put that on a big stage, and then people may think that this is all our faith is. Yeah. I just think it just opens a door for us to be teased and not respected in some elements of our faith practices. Yeah.
That's a good.
And so I'm just. The baby go up there and hang himself on the cross. You see what I'm saying? And not even that. That's a big leap. But I do, and I've had this again. I've had these thoughts for years, and I've had this conversation with a friend of mine. Who's also really open-minded and funny, and we can kind of see the jokes in it. But it's not to take away, and I just really hope it doesn't come across like I'm taking away. But I do see. Sometimes when you hear like the day-to-day conversation of certain things and the jokes, and I'm just like, okay.
I mean, I can see if you.
But as far as influence and opportunity and what, like, he's legendary. Both of them.
Both of them legendary.
But again, living in Georgia. Oh my God! It would be almost blasphemous to deny the impact and the opportunity and the doors he's opened.
Oh, he's legend.
And just
real
the
legend.
Proof of possibility. I don't ever want anything I say to take that away.
Oh no,
but I'm just
legend.
Very defensive of the Lord's church.
Nah. I mean, and that's a. I ain't even ever looked at it that way. But I mean, if you want,
and I think too, just because of my role as a teacher of the Word and minister and things like that. And I know a very specific way that God refined my ear. My heart is always for those people who think they may be getting God and not quite, and they get a situation when they need Him for real. And I'm telling you, like, hallelujah ain't gonna help you. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's
hallelujah. You know what I'm saying? Just those little nuanced things, because I don't be trying to, like, the devil's subtle. And
He's
so but again, I don't want to project the way I see things and my eye on. I don't ever want it to come across as a negative thing towards him. I just do think that we do need to be vigilant and careful that our faith isn't, because it only takes little bits over time for our faith to be disrespected. And again, it's a reach, but then you got the baby up. Emulating a crucifixion. I mean, that is.
It's a perspective, though. I mean, that's the whole point of that's.
Don't mean too bad.
That's the whole point of No Labels. That's why, I'm about to open up. I'm about to start bringing in 4 or 5 people an episode and let people join, because it's like.
I feel where I'm coming from. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I do, because like when you look at it, I mean, because it is an oversaturation of that type of, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the Black church vibe. You know what I'm saying? You get it. Yeah, I do get it, but I mean, he trust me, he's not the only one that do that. It's like people make a whole business out of that, but I get it. But it's like, I mean, that's the whole purpose of it.
And I think too, sometimes like it's so nuanced, because you could see it with certain. I understand that I have a different eye sometimes, and I'm just like, if you're gonna do it like that, or like, dude, like I get with this, but it's like, some of it is just kind of towing the line, and it's just like, I don't know. It's interesting for me to watch. It kind of just hits I take it a different way, and I recognize that, so I don't ever want to come across speaking negatively against people who benefit so much from his work.
But you gotta ask the question, like we was talking about it before the podcast. Is free speech dead? Is it still alive, or is like do we really have free speech?
I think it's under attack.
It's definitely under attack. That's a good way to look at it.
Like, it's still alive and well, but I think it's absolutely under attack.
Because, like, when comedians can't, you know what I'm saying? I get
language, like just language, because language is extremely powerful.
Yeah. So it's like, we got to be like you brought a perspective, and that's the whole point. Like,
listen, comedians. Listen, I will defend stand-up comedy
we need that
to the death.
We need stand-up comedy.
We need it.
Listen, we need it.
Need it.
We need a different way to look at our problems. Like,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? That's what comedians do. They take the bad stuff
And then
and
like
make a pretty picture
I
out
just
of
wish
it.
people remember it's just like, you know what? Your intake of stand-up comedy is 100% optional. It's optional. Even if you indulged a little bit and it wasn't what you thought it was going to be to the point of offense, you could just leave. Nobody's holding you against your will. Like, but
We are so
listen,
offended.
just like
Anyway,
but no, I do think that language and free speech is under attack.
I do, but I mean, and that's where courage come in. But I ain't even gonna go on that because I already know. I got one more ice break question. Then we gonna get into is comfort king.
Okay.
And this is a question for people I would say 30, at least 20, at least 26 and up. But you got to pick one movie. Which one? The Wood.
Please don't get my black card revoked.
The Wood. Have you ever seen The Wood?
I have.
And Friday, the first one.
Friday, easy.
Was that easy? I thought it was.
Like
The wood was cool.
the Wood was
The Wood
cool,
was lit.
But
I like The
But
Wood.
you got to consider rewatchability.
You're right. I would say Friday.
I have seen The Wood maybe.
I should have picked the
I
better.
feel
I picked the better one.
I feel like
one.
The Wood
Yeah.
I've seen maybe 3, maybe 4 times in my life, and that's cool. I could put Friday on and just run it as a loop in the background for weeks.
I was about to do another one, but it's something.
Do another one.
It's just as bad.
Okay.
'Cause
I'm just glad that I still got my black
I
card.
was about to say Brown Sugar or Love and Basketball.
Love and Basketball. I don't give a damn.
Brown
You
Sugar,
know that's my
Brown
favorite
Sugar
movie.
or Love and Basketball.
I like Brown Sugar.
And then it's tough because you got the same leading lady in both of them.
You do.
Yeah, you sure do. I love it.
Brown Sugar or Love and
And
Basketball.
she was a journalist in Brown Sugar. And she loved hip hop, so you speak it to the core of my soul.
You see? Yeah, you see?
It's love and hip hop. Not love and hip hop. It's love and basketball for me.
Listen.
It's love and basketball
Ooh,
for me because
ooh.
they grew up together.
Love and so okay, so Love and Basketball.
It was both of them.
I mean,
I don't know. I just love it.
I'm picking Brown. I'm picking Brown Sugar on that one. Because I like music, so it
I
kinda,
like, ooh.
But Love and Basketball is the most more legendary movie.
It is.
It
It is more legendary, but as far as my person, I feel, they both heavy, but I feel like I'm leaning slightly towards Brown Sugar.
Brown Sugar was lit though.
It was.
Yeah.
Really good.
Especially that.
Brown Sugar was good. And that's
Okay.
hands down.
That's
But
the
for myself, it's gonna be Love and Basketball.
that's the.
I can see myself in a different way than I can.
I
You know,
can't
I played basketball long enough to find out I was supposed to be a cheerleader.
I can't believe y'all.
So
Anybody would say, "Uh-oh." I got in one game and it was like, you said
I wasn't all that bad. I was just better. I wasn't all that bad, but I was better at cheerleader.
I had cheered for a little while too, but
Okay.
basketball,
All right, so we got the juices flowing. So let's get into is comfort king. Is comfort king. Is comfort king? You know, do you you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm asking?
Know what
When
you
I say
asking.
comfort, it's like okay. We all want, you know the saying, you can't have your cake and eat it too. And that's the same as comfort. You know what I'm saying? But we like comfort. You know what I'm saying? Like no one likes to be in iffy situations. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like at the end of the day, I say comfort is king. You know what I'm saying? But it's like you gotta get past that because it's like, what am I trying to say in a shorter way? Our minds are designed for comfort. It's designed if you're in danger, you know what I'm saying, or perceives danger, then it's going to automatically try to do the easiest way to get out. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it don't be dangerous. Sometimes it just be unfamiliar territory, so it seems dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I say comfort is king, but you can't have comfort and purpose. You know what I'm saying? It's like we built for it.
That's different. Oh my God, you're opening up a lot of cans and a lot of worms.
It was
We built for comfort. We love it.
That go back to almost your thing, coward or king. Because you would say a coward will run to comfort, whether a king will go on his days to cap.
Oh, but
Yeah.
let me elaborate though. What I mean by coming out your comfort zone, because as you leveling up, you don't just gotta level up like being in different situations. You gotta get out your comfort zone when it comes to emotions.
Oh yeah.
You gotta get out your comfort zone when it comes to your finances, how you move, how you think. You gotta like all that is comfortable.
So I would, as far as is comfort king,
Yeah.
I think if you make comfort king, it won't be a very good one.
Yeah.
So I feel like, and I've grown into this, and I think I am coming to. I think comfort is wonderful in its place, in its time, but that has to be very heavily regulated, or it'll spill over into other lives where comfort doesn't serve it well.
Yeah.
And I think that my view on comfort is growing to the way that my father taught me to view money. And it's this. He'll always say, money is a wonderful servant. It is a horrible master. I think comfort is the same thing. Comfort is a wonderful servant, horrible master. You don't want comfort leading the charge. You don't want comfort driving the car. But you do want, I think it's a necessity, sometimes just like, if you look to have it, sometimes you need to retreat to comfort. Yeah. Sometimes you need to at least have comfort in your view to keep going. Yeah. I think it's great in its place, but you can't let comfort drive, or it's not going to take you where you say you want to go. So again, I think it's a great servant. I think comfort is great in its place, subdued under the control and leading of purpose. So I wouldn't just banish comfort altogether. I think it's a wonderful servant, but horrible master. I would not let comfort be the leading force.
So my thing is, so when do you settle in comfort?
I don't think you never should settle. I think what I was like. I think what you mean by
what I mean by that is once you have reached the goal that you have reached, once you have finished the finish line, you got the award, you got the accolade. Is that now comfort or is that now rest?
I think
it's rest.
It's
I think
rest.
the difference between rest and comfort.
So what is the difference in between rest and comfort?
Because rest is like you say, at the end of a goal, at the end of a mission. Mm-hmm. That don't mean you done. You just getting ready for the next one. So you rest. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, but you preparing to start again. But I think comfort is like in the same lines as complacence, mediocre. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ask anybody right now, not anybody. Well, I don't know about nowadays with the social media because everybody want to be millionaires. But you know what I'm saying? Just your
pass 1,000 to get to $1 million.
Just ask your everyday family person. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say, how much money you want to make? And they'll say just enough to be comfortable. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, comfort is it's dangerous if you make it king, because if no one goes outside the comfort zone, then we as a nation, we as people, we don't progress. You know what I'm saying? And God calls everyone out of comfort. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Come out of that land. Let me show you to the land that you don't know nothing about.
Even to your question, I think when it comes down to the difference between rest and comfort, I think you can't even accurately define rest independent of work.
Yeah.
Like you have to show what work is in order to understand what rest is. Yeah. Now, comfort can creep in just about anywhere you'll allow it. And so that's why it's like it needs to be in a certain place. Like, for example, like in my home, in my space where I have set to do some focused work, that place does not need to be too comfortable. Yeah. Because I might drift off and fall asleep, or I might, And so if I need to do deep focused work, whether it's study or writing, it wouldn't be wise for me to bring that into my bedroom where I sleep and want to rest, And so then it becomes like the antithesis of work. Comfort can hinder you in work. Yeah. But then after I've worked, when it's time for rest, and I've got this place where I've designated this is where comfort should be, then maybe not have a whole bunch of things in there that would take away from the comfort, because this is the time I set aside where I can just really relax into my comfort. But also it serves the purpose of this room and what it's supposed to be. But if you bring comfort into a place where you need the best results of work, then I'm thinking your comfort is going to challenge your best results. Yeah. So I just think I think there is a difference between work and rest, but comfort can kind of show up anywhere.
The whole point of this is what I mean is don't settle. Oh, okay, so don't settle for good on your way to great. You know what I'm saying? So if all you can do, okay, just make an example. If all you can do, if all God gave, if all you got the capacity to do is, you know what I'm saying, just buy one house so that you can pay off and then pass it on to your kids or whatever, or make a benefit. If that's all you can do, that's all you're capable of, and you do that, you have not settled for comfort. But if you are multi-talented and you know good well that you have the ability to do more, but you get into a comfortable place and you say, okay, this is it. You know what I'm saying? You don't maximize your life to what you can because you got comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what I mean. Don't settle for good on your way to great. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's great is different. You know what I'm saying?
It is. And I think someone who will respond in the way that you just said, to where like I just need enough to be comfortable. My first thought would be that person is unaware of their purpose, because their purpose is probably bigger than just their existence. Yeah. And therefore bigger than their comfort. And so I remember praying to God at one point when I was just really seeing a lot of financial increase and just, just space increase. I'm like, moving to certain places. I'm like, Lord, I don't require much, but you blessed me and graced me to have more than I need in these areas. So I need you to guide me in what to do with it. Yeah. Like if I have more money than bills, I don't want to blow the extra. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, okay, if I have this much more than I need, Lord, show me what to do with it, because you've given it, because everything has purpose, but if all I needed was enough to get by. But even that, like, how much comfort is in that really? Because if you have enough to get by, then there's no foresight into something that could happen. Like, people used to kind of really live on rainy day funds because the anticipation that, you know what, the seasons change. It won't always be this all the time. Yeah. So I don't know. I would have a lot of questions for a person. It's like, I just need enough to be comfortable. But it's like, I got questions. I don't know what they are yet, but just start talking. That's
just why I brought it up, because Sarah Jakes got a sermon called "Don't Settle for Safe," and that's basically what I'm saying. Because it's like Miles Monroe
What did Sarah Jakes say? Don't settle for safe. She got
a sermon called "Don't Settle for Safe." What that D?
Oh yeah, David on that, y'all.
Yeah, see what's up, fam?
What's going on, D?
Come on and play.
Yeah, we here. We here. Hey, but no, what's good, fam? Love you, boy. But no, I was just saying, like, okay, yeah, that's basically okay. Miles Monroe, and I asked the question because the bigger percentage of people do settle for comfort. Why? How do we know this? Miles Monroe got a famous quote, is used everywhere in motivational circles, but the richest place on earth is the graveyard. You know what I'm saying? That's where books go to die, ideas go to die. That's what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Like, not like, okay, of course you may not achieve everything that, you know what I'm saying, that you're capable of, but don't like I said, don't stop because you got you a good look. Okay, you decent. I'm not saying don't be content. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, I'm like you. Like, see yourself for who you actually are and the bigness, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Yes. To the fullness. That's what I mean.
I just think comfort, you can't leave your comfort unchecked for too long. Because if you really evaluate your comfort zones and then compare that to maybe the highest level of success that you could achieve in that area, then comfort is probably warring with you achieving that highest level.
It always will. It always will.
But, comfort in this place is a wonderful thing, And in
this
place.
I like to talk about stuff like that because, okay, this is No Labels where faith meets culture.
Yes.
And it's like, we do our best through our personal experience. Like we don't have all the
Don't
answers.
judge us too harshly.
We don't have all the answers, and we don't want to. That's why we got people that we're gonna bring to the table, and we can because I don't mind talking. I like talking. I don't mind being disagreed with. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
But I say that I say that, man, because like I just want people to maximize whatever they know to maximize. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like don't settle.
And then even the fact that you use the word maximize, it's just like you won't even find what that maximum is until you test the limits of your comfort.
You got to grow.
You know,
growing. I mean, and then when we say grow, I mean when you growing, like anybody who is growing truthfully, intentionally, they know it's so many different aspects to growth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Mentally, physically, especially emotionally. Yeah. For me, like I've been maturing a lot emotionally, and I ain't all the way there, but like emotionally, it's like when you really look back and start to quote unquote heal, you like, dang, boy, you really have some issues, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like
y'all got
ugly.
Issues.
You know what I'm saying? Clean up. Oh, y'all do not start. What you mean, y'all? What does it mean?
I said we all got
issues.
I
thought you said I thought you talking about men.
No,
I said
no, we all.
I thought you were.
And I started singing the what's the girl's name? Let's sing that song, Issues. I got issues.
But it's like.
We all got issues.
No, I thought she was talking about because I thought she was jump starting the combo. I was like, okay.
No, we all got issues. No. I am not that anything to be. No.
But now,
listen, I'll be the first to be like, listen.
You look back, you like, dang.
Issue I had.
You know that,
it ain't all the way gone. But it's better.
No, you hit, it's like, you got to be aware of things.
You do.
You gotta be, you know that.
He absolutely will. And I've had times where I was like, if y'all knew the night I had before coming up here to preach to y'all. Mm-hmm. Ooh. If y'all knew what I had to endure just to stand here and not cry my eyes out. And that's what I learned firsthand that, not that God is discompassionate, because absolutely not, but it's just like when it comes to what he's called you to do it. But again, I'm going to plug my book every time I get, but when it comes down to being God's church, one of the things is...
Shameless plug.
Yeah, rules of royalty. But one of the royal responsibilities, like as the bride of Christ, I'm a queen, and my royal calling outweighs my feelings and emotions.
And that need to be said.
And that's tough, but when I say I have lived it, like, no, what you're called to do outranks how you feel about it. But also, it does not mean that God is not gracious and a wonderful father who will minister to you in your emotions, because he will. But it's almost like if you don't trust him to do all of it, then the lines will get blurry, and then you'll be squeezing your emotions and feelings into your purpose assignment, and then it starts to get a little muddy.
Yeah.
So.
And that's a wake up call. That's when you mature and look, when you realize when you in a moment that you really don't want to be in, but it's kind of like girl they got popular on TikTok when she be stopping me like, you gonna shoot me in it. Then she start laughing or whatever.
I have no idea who y'all talking about. Who is this person?
Well, anyways,
I don't know.
Anyways, it was like
I don't know who that is.
You get to a point in purpose when it be like, listen, God.
David said Charlemagne made him donkey of the day. I got to go watch that donkey of the day.
The Movado. I wonder what Charlemagne said.
Oh, we'll pull it up. Maybe we can come back and insert it later, but I'm finding it before I leave here today.
I wonder what Charlemagne said about the Movado. I ain't never heard of a Movado. I'm not a big watch dude like that.
I mean, I'm familiar with Movado, but also like unless they make a smartwatch, you cannot. Once you go smartwatch, you can't go back to regular.
Unless you
like you just give me the time. You can't give me my text message. You can't field a phone call for me. You can't count my steps. Get out of here. I'm sorry. I wear 2 watches. I wear my Michael Kors smartwatch, and I wear my Versa Fitbit 3. So
Apple Watch all day. You know what I'm saying? Apple lovers, woo woo. You know what I'm saying?
Do your thing.
Woo woo. Apple lovers, Android, boo.
No from Android to Apple, there's no hate. I don't know why it's all this hate aimed at us, but do you, and whatever resonates with you. Samsung resonates with me.
Apple is from the Lord.
Okay.
But yeah, it was like, man, you get to. I mean, even as a, you get to a point where you realize you don't care to do it. Not about me, but about how I feel. You be like, you don't care to do it. No. Like, go ahead and do it. And it's like, God got a patience. Like, he got patience. Like, he got patience up until a point. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you this room. You know what I'm saying? As long as you at least attempt. You know what I'm saying? As long as you start moving. You know what I'm saying? I got you. But you can't stay here.
No, and that's
You know
the thing.
what I'm
Like,
saying?
he'll minister to us in our feelings, but when we start to get into using our feelings to go to our Creator, saying why we don't qualify for the thing that He literally created us to do, then it's the point like, now you insulting me and my creation.
Yeah.
I know what you can do better than you do because you're still discovering it, and I created it. So, who made man's mouth? Now take that mouth and go say what I told you. You know? So,
Yeah.
but I just love that God is wise enough to make concessions for our feelings without compromising our purpose, because our purpose gives Him glory, but our best life for ourselves is also in our purpose.
And
So He's just wise in that way.
It's just taking the Disney shades off. You know what I'm saying? We're going to take the Disney shades off. And I'm like, bro, like me and Keanu were talking like, imagine being Abraham. Like, I'm a married man, bro. Imagine going home. Like, all right, baby, we about to move. Where we going? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and then imagine.
we need a camera in the corner because the wife, business no labels,
It's like-
is over here like.
It's like, I don't know.
My grandparents actually lived a very similar scenario.
For real?
Yes. So my grandfather started Bible camp, which will be 50 years old next year. It's in Middle Georgia, called Spoloa Bible Camp.
Okay.
He also began and planted 4 churches in 4 different states. But
Okay.
he used to
Trailblazer.
live. But he's originally from Alabama, but he lived in Pennsylvania, where my mom and my grandmother lived. My grandmother's from there, and you know, it was just like in the name of the work of the kingdom, and as a missionary, it's like, well, we're going down to Georgia to do this work and build this camp and all these different things.
You got faith.
And
you got faith.
my grandmother, and at the time, it was 3 children. They eventually had 5, but 3, and my mama was the middle. So she was like 12 or something when they moved. So you gotta understand, this was the 60s.
Yeah.
Coming from the north to the south, when most black people trying to go the other way.
Yeah.
And again, of course, I wasn't around, but my mother tells me this story often. But like, no, your grandma was like, I'm not taking. You know, I'm almost like if it was just me and you, but I'm not taking my kids to the South in the 60s when we have a good thing going up here in Philly.
Yeah.
You know, but then again, shout out to my grandfather and believing God. It's just like, you know what? You are my wife and my love. I love my family, but I have to do this. I will continue to take care of you. I will continue to provide. I will come, but I still have to do this. Mm-hmm. And it was a lady that my grandmother worked with that was unmarried, and I think she wanted to be. And she was like, if I had a husband that loved me like your husband loved you and your family, there's nowhere I wouldn't follow him to. And my mom said that my grandmother was just so convicted by that, that she got over her feelings and packed up her family and moved down. And that's how my family ended up planted in Georgia.
I know why.
And that's
But I completely feel my grandma like.
and saying that. But you know what? Keandra brought up a good point, because I never saw this story like this until Keandra said it. It was like, okay, we all know when Job's wife told Job to curse God and die, but Keandra was like, coming from the perspective of a grieving mother, you know what I'm saying? It's like, because situations get ugly. Now, I'm not telling nobody to say that or whatever, but like, that's what I mean by purpose ain't always pretty, because we always make her look evil. From the perspective
of Job's wife, it's like,
take the didn't say so.
Your faith has killed my children.
Yeah.
My life, all 10.
So just looking at it from a human aspect, just think about her as a human who just lost all her kids.
Listen, I've always had empathy for Job's wife.
Like,
I never thought about it like that until she said. I was like, you know what?
It's Job's wife can explain in so many different scenarios, as when people are building something up, and they like, let's say like 2 married people, we building this up, and then all of a sudden we have nothing. And I'm like, okay.
That was the worst.
We gotta cry, but God telling me to do this. We gotta do this, and I'm just saying. And as a wife, I'm looking like, okay.
That's how you know Job was anointed, because Job.
Listen, but then also, like, we were to have that conversation we were having, the pre-podcast conversation about like like when it comes down to that phrase, like, some people can't see the forest for the trees.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, considering like the different way that men and women often view the world, I was like, I think men see the whole forest and women see the trees.
Remember when I had that thing?
You know,
sometimes we're too close, but you gotta back up.
Yeah, right. So so guys can see the whole big picture, and a woman like, watch your step, move, step this way. Listen, that's gonna fall. Do this, you know. And so, but it takes both of those to get through. But she looking at the details around her, like you sick, the food gone, the kids gone.
In
Do not see.
In a day,
I don't know what else we gonna lose. We ain't got much left. If you want to get out of here, go. You know. So I feel the true human emotion of Mrs. Job.
Like, man, look, just curse God.
Just
and it's
maybe if you just.
Yeah, because that was a whole. I mean, honestly, bro, I think I would.
So real.
You just lost your whole business. Oh, hold up, somebody else coming. All your kids dead. I think I would have died right there. But anyways, it was like, it ain't, bro. And it's like, and then, yeah, he got.
That's what the final straw for.
But he got a nerve. He got a nerve. But he said that, but God still came at the end and checked him. Like, fam, come here. What you? Basically, he was making that point. After Jordan went through all that, come here. I'm gonna give you closure, but let me. Where were you? Basically saying, fam, you don't know nothing.
Right.
After he done went through all hell, hey fam, you don't know nothing.
Listen.
Let me break this down to you. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing we good at as humans, I've done it. I've had to repent for it. I can't speak, but one thing as humans, as especially in the Western society, we like to make God out of something that he never said he was or is. You know what I'm saying? Like, we like to make God the God of our comfort. Like, God would never say that. He would never say that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, take him for who he is. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and that's beautiful, but like,
it is.
God's not a coward.
It really is.
Take him for who he is.
I remember praying this, and I said, Lord, I do understand certain things. You got to go through things that I've been through and that you've allowed. But I do not want to have your character be revealed to me only through tragedy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said I don't want to have to be fired off my job to discover my purpose. I want to hear you so keenly. You know, but you gotta nurture that relationship.
But that goes the same too.
Man,
some people, when they are down, that's when they know God the most.
Yes.
And the minute they get up, it's that sensation, that zeal for God. So God
I said, Lord,
I gotta trouble your waters in order for you to stay close to me. So
right. And I decided. I said, Lord, I don't want this to have to be the reason that I get to know you in deeper ways.
I'm gonna be real,
and I appreciate what I've learned and what those seasons have brought to me.
But you don't want to.
But also, it's like, this can't be the only way I can get to know the depths of your character and the depths of your love and the fact that you'll never leave me and the fact that you'll never forsake me and the fact that you protect me and provide for me. I don't want to have to come from a desperation place when you said you died for me to have abundant life.
Yeah, and that's not abundant life.
No,
no, for sure. I don't mind going through the process, but I'm like, you know what I'm saying.
But I don't want to have to unnecessarily go through.
Yeah, and that's a whole nother tangent.
That's
a whole nother. But I mean, we going for the hour. I thought we going for a good little minute. Okay. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's I mean, I can go on and on and on and on. But I just want to keep it 100. I like taking the Disney shades off.
Yeah, you say that.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, Abraham and his wife. Like going through the desert, you know what I'm saying? We there yet? I don't know. we're just walking. You know what I'm saying? It's like, imagine. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's why it's important, going back to the topic, to not settle for comfort. Because imagine if Abraham would have settled for comfort. He was good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was. But what I'm saying is, as far as a faith community, as far as kings, as we say, we are son of the kings, whatever. Yeah. What in your life, and everything ain't got to be material, but what in your life can't the world get? Like, the world don't need faith to make money. No. It just need principles. You know what I'm saying? So money is not really a good, because people who rule the world, most of the people who on the top 1%, a lot of them don't share faith. So, like, what can you offer the world? What can you offer the world that they can't get on their own. You know what I'm saying? And only God can do that. And the only way God can do that is that you get out your comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? In whatever way. And that can look like all the way to TD Jakes to down to me and my wife taking care of 2 autistic kids.
And here's the thing. I think when it comes down, you talking about, because the physical comfort zone, that's pretty easy to discern.
Yeah.
It's just like, this hurts. Let me readjust in my chair. But when you talk about that emotional discomfort or mental discomfort, I think that it really is, how do I say it? It's kind of rooted in God has to, you can't stay there too long because you'll be too reliant on yourself and it'll break the relationship that you have with God.
Yeah.
And so he needs to have a level of dependency that's built into relationship to keep you in your proper position, him in his proper position to get you where he purposed you to go. Yeah. And so if you get too comfortable for too long and never move, then how much would you continue to give God glory? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, or because like I've been comfortable here this long and I figured this out to the point I could teach other people how to get to this point, then maybe the glory stops at you. And God's like, I got more for you, but you're going to have to abandon this and admit, I don't know, but I trust God. And that place right there is probably the ultimate mental and emotional discomfort. Is like,
I don't know.
God is saying this, and there's a part of me that believes it, but then there's also this part of me that doesn't know. Which one am I going to answer to? Because what I do know will keep me comfortable. But if I believe God, it challenges my comfort. Do I believe God more, or do I want my comfort more? Yeah. And so that those moments of mental discomfort come down to how strong is this relationship? Are you willing to sever yourself from the fullness of it in order to maintain comfort? Or are you willing to deepen your relationship in the arena of discomfort, but you get more of God revealed to you, more of your purpose unfolds in your life? And I think those are the decisions. And so discomfort is really purposeful. But I do think that comfort, again, great servant, bad master, is good in its place. But
when it all boils down to it, I'm just trying to tell everybody to get out the boat before. You know what I'm saying? Step out the boat and however way you going to step out the boat.
This is why obedience is so important. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's just perfect. Hey, and it's like being obedient.
Yes.
Being obedient requires you that a lot of times you change your relationships. Because let's just say, okay, take the Wright brothers, for example. Their father was a preacher and told them, son, this is a quote. Now, I don't know if it's true, but it's a quote on Google. So don't kill me. But on Google, they said their father told them, son, if you were meant to fly, God would have gave you wings. Their father was a preacher. You know what I'm saying? So imagine if they would have just, you know what I'm saying? That's why your tribe is important. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, like if you know that God told you to do something, okay, and you got a bunch of people comfortable with you being where you are now, but you are going here. You know what I'm saying? That's when comfort gets done because they're comfortable with you being who you are right now.
And I think to Ali's point, bring up obedience, I think that in order to remain in obedience, you got to have a level of sensitivity. You got to be able to hear, because what are you being obedient to? And if you don't have that sensitivity, then obedience is going to be difficult. Now, if you're too comfortable, then some of those, here's the thing. If you are uncomfortable, you'll probably find more pressing reasons to communicate with God and like, well, how do I get out of this, or what do I do? So your ears are tuned into him in a different way. And so it may be easier to be obedient, which will lead you into the purpose and promise than discomfort will.
You know what nobody never talk about though? Well, we do, but I'm going to talk about it. The awkward silence. I'm talking with you and God. When you know God tell you to do something and then it don't, like it go the exact opposite, and then you just sitting in the room, like you don't even want to pray.
Let me tell you about awkward silence. When I was in the last, because remember it took me like 5.5 years to write my book. In the last 2 years of it, I did a lot of things differently. Like I didn't read anybody else's work. I was just trying to protect the integrity of my own voice and make sure other voices weren't getting in.
Yeah.
But I remember there's a while I was praying for certain things, as far as like requesting things from God. Hey, God, I need this from you. God, I really desire this. God, and I had all these different things. And for for a couple of months, I would pray with my requests, and I got to the point where every answer to all of those prayers was all the same answer. Like I would be praying something about relationships or about finances or about work or about my family. And the answer was the same answer. Finish your book. And I was like, what does that have to do? I can see farther than I can. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's all you got to say? And he was like, I said what I said. So when God give you them I said what I said moments, I mean, good Lord, what you going to do with that? And so I would go and pray something else. I'm like, well, this is unrelated, blah, blah, blah. And the answer would be finish your book. Mm-hmm. And so I stopped until I finished my book. I didn't ask God for anything else. Now, as far as like for myself, as far as a list of desires, this is what I want for myself. Yes, I still fellowship with God and I would pray for other people and I, pray for just the day-to-day things. But as far as like, God, here's my wish list of desires, I stopped because the answer was the same. And he didn't have anything to say to me in response to those prayers, but the thing he already said. And it was like, finish your book. And I said what I said. And listen, I got a different sensitivity around the silence. Yeah. It was just like his silence was confirming that I've already answered this and I'm not changing my answer. Yeah. So you need to lean into the answer. So like the silent years will be different for, those silent moments, will be different from. Yes. Girl, Allie, come on, preach with us. Yeah,
she's preaching. Intimacy is,
but it
key.
Is, but it's key. What? Here's the thing. If you talking to the married couple in the room,
she said something petty.
I will leave it alone. I'm trying to stay focused. But here's the thing: if your marriage got to a place that was just all comfort, and it may be, I'm not saying it wouldn't be enjoyable, but how many conversations would not happen because you're not uncomfortable? Well, I guess let me ask it a different way. What conversations and growth in your relationship has grown out of discomfort?
All of them. Honestly, I don't think you get too comfortable.
So then the argument would be your discomfort serves the intimacy of the relationship.
Yeah. It helps you grow. It helps to grow. And plus y'all don't stop growing as people, so you got to relearn the person. You know what I'm saying? It ain't the same 22-year-old you met, you know what I'm saying? Now they 30 and they like different things. You know what I'm saying? And like we get some stuff, so like Kendra likes really ratchet TV and I like documentaries. And I watch
sitcoms that I've seen a million times, and it drives my guy crazy.
She don't watch Grey's Anatomy twice.
Every time I've done it 4 times. Every time. Listen, every time I feel the itch. Let me tell you now, I haven't done it in a while, but every time I feel the itch, I put it on Facebook. I say, y'all, I'm close to starting over from episode 1, season 1, episode 1 of Grey's Anatomy. Somebody give me something else to watch because they 17 seasons in.
I'm so tired of watching Grey's Anatomy.
Y'all
got issues. Anybody who watched Grey's Anatomy more than once, y'all got issues.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
That's too much TV. That's too much TV. That's like the soap operas.
It always absolutely a soap opera, but it's great. But I have to stop. But again, like when you look at it from that hindsight point of view, how much has comfort served the depths of intimacy? How much has discomfort served the depths of intimacy? Yeah. Like I know some people, some pastors that are like, I'm not married, no couple that hadn't had their first fight yet. Get out my face.
Oh yeah, you don't even know if you love them yet.
Right. He's like, I'm not. He's like, y'all ain't had it. Like when was y'all last fight? We never fought. Oh, get out of here, y'all ain't. Like he'll literally just like, don't come back till you have your first fight. Listen, because it does. It is a great discomfort. Is a great ground for intimacy growth, I think.
It do, because it make you honest.
It does.
You know what I'm saying?
And I
make you honest.
I've seen it in relationships. I've seen it in my relationship with God, but honestly, even in my work relationships, it's just like you got to be enough to be like, okay, we need to go have a difficult conversation. Yeah. And the improvement in performance after the difficult conversation with compassion, with understanding, but also like, this is where my feelings run out. Like, How you feel don't matter for this thing, but I do care about how you like to find that balance, and then to see like almost a 180 turnaround in somebody's job performance because you had the thing that was uncomfortable. But avoiding it makes it worse for you and everybody that it affects. So my whole team getting pulled down.
It makes the relationship
because I won't have this uncomfortable conversation. No, come on, we just about to have this now.
It makes the relationship, and it's like.
Yeah.
What I learned that it doesn't in marriage, and even going back to intimacy with God, is that discomfort takes away the persona and introduces you to the person. Yeah, it does. You know what I'm saying?
Alex said you got to be comfortable in the silence and not make up a conversation too. Say that.
You got to be comfortable in the silence and not make. And I done made up some conversations.
Do tell.
I done been terribly wrong.
Do tell.
I done been terribly wrong. I have done that and thought I heard God and I heard myself. And God was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I know what goes on in my mind. I had to pray and still pray, Lord, let your voice in my ear be louder and clearer than my own thoughts.
But like this comfort made me honest. But with God and with my wife, like the hard times made me like, okay, bump all this. Look, this is, you know what I'm saying? Like some things, when you do life with a person, as you do life with God, like the intimacy on a whole different level, because y'all don't just like y'all do life together. Y'all go through hell together. Yeah. The good and the bad times. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to be butt naked before. That's when I think the relationship
naked and unashamed. But
yeah, you got to be naked before that person and God. Like, Pam, I know you. I literally know what you're thinking. Stop playing and tell me what you're thinking. And tell me what you're thinking, so we can be. You know what I'm saying? That's what I found, the kind of relationship. Now, God requires honor, respect, all that. He is the king, but like truth. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Truth. Yes. No persona. Like let's bring truth to the truth. You know what I'm saying? Yes. If you struggling here, it's like I done told God I'm nervous. Like, bro, I don't even know if this is gonna happen. I done told God I'm doing it, but I don't know if it's gonna happen, Lord. But I believe you, and all that's contradicted.
It's you know.
And it's like, but you still step.
But that's that moment yeah, it is. And then it could be talking about, you remember I was talking about affirmations and how like it can be frustrating if you don't see it. But there will be times and you got to be honest. And because here's the thing, honesty and freedom, truth and freedom work hand in hand. And now you should know the truth, and the truth should make you free. Like freedom and truth, like bonded at the hip, you know. And so if you really want real freedom, from a thing, you got to have truth with it. So here's the thing. You will have moments where the truth of your life does not line up with the truth of God's word. And if you keep saying God's word but still live in the truth of your life with no faith action, it's going to frustrate you. And then you're going to be like, well, God lied, or his word isn't true, or this doesn't work. But that's a real concern, a real thing people got to get. How do I close the space between the truth that I'm living and the truth of what God said? You know, if he says that I'm above only and not beneath, but the truth is I'm under a whole bunch of stuff. Yes. So you got to be truthful, like this is where I really am. But I believe that God says I should be here. I am here in his sight. The space between that is the action, the steps of faith that you take because you believe that this is the greater truth. Yeah. You know, so people got to get that.
And you meant that. You had your finger.
I did mean
finger on the I like that. I mean, I think that was a beautiful conversation. I think that was a beautiful conversation. Appreciate Allie for the appreciate you, Allie, for the input.
David.
That was fire.
Yeah.
Dave Lewis.
They said we got to go out for dinner. I'm with it.
I've been said that, but yeah, I'm definitely with it. Do you have any final thoughts on
I just pointed at the table and talked about truth.
That was good. All right, well, listen. This is Comfort King.
And listen, if it is king, I don't know that you want to live in that kingdom. You may want to visit from time to time and keep the visit brief, but that's not a kingdom you want to live in, and you don't want to be ruled by that king if it be so.
Okay.
You really have. This is napkin paper like confetti.
Y'all know. I got
like a child over here.
I do. I got issues.
But yeah, I think.
Ellie said one more thing, and Corey said something too.
What Corey said?
Oh, Corey joined her. Oh yeah, Corey
said
we dope.
You got to come on here, man.
Corey, you dope too. You know, Corey be rocking us when we start asking all the questions. Asking all the questions.
We definitely got a W back. We definitely got a double back. For real. We got better mic. We got better mics this time.
Listen.
You know what I'm saying? We coming up.
Yeah, but like, if comfort be king, I would suggest that you don't live in that kingdom. You visit, but you time your visits and make them brief, and you get out of there.
And focus on your purpose. Like focus,
Yeah.
like okay, right now we're doing our purpose. And look, we've literally done this purpose with 0 views. And it's
And
like,
now we got engaging
you know what I'm saying?
conversation. Y'all come on
it's
in.
like,
Come on in the
focus-
room.
Focus on your focus. Do it because God said it.
Do
Let
it
be
'cause
simple.
God said it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And you love it. And you
Yeah.
having fun with it and get the bag. And just get out of comfort. There's no, hey, look, scared money don't make no money. Ain't no money in comfort. You know what I'm saying? You get the regular money. You can get the regular money,
Listen.
but ain't no money in comfort. I don't care how
My
you
mama
put
and
it.
I have been checking in daily, and we got a meeting tomorrow to continue. But we have both aligned on a wealth plan. We got some very ambitious wealth goals.
You got to take risks.
Over the next 2 years and over the course of the rest of our lives, and it does challenge your comfort zone. It challenges the comfort of your philosophy to
Yeah.
start to think about
They
wealth
do.
in a different way.
You got to think higher.
Yes, and that's the thing. So to be uncomfortable in your thinking, especially if it's been thinking that you've had for a long time,
Yeah.
and something, but if you're willing to accept it,
But-
and
but-
it's not even that you have to fully accept it, but just consider it.
And,
You know?
and nothing is uncomfortable forever because
That's right.
once you face it, then you get good at it. It becomes comfortable.
Listen, there was one thing we used to have to do. One of my old jobs, they used to make us like literally like push perfume down these people's throats at this one job, and I was like, "Here's the thing, it's uncomfortable till it's not, and the only way you're gonna get into the the comfort of it is by doing it."
You gotta jump in.
Like
there.
I was just like, and it's one of them things. It ain't a trick. It ain't a
Yeah.
set special thing. I was like, it's literally. It's uncomfortable until it's not, and I don't know where that line is for you, but you just got to keep doing it till it gets comfortable
man.
again.
You
And
know-
sometimes that stuff sucks. It's like, oh,
that was.
but sometimes that is what
That
it
was
is.
a dope. Look, I'm with it, man. Listen,
Thanks for rocking with us.
this is No Labels Podcast, man. Look,
Instagram fam,
this was
Facebookers. We appreciate
is-
the engagement.
yeah, that was
Or
fire.
say less. Bet.
It's Comfort King. No, it is not, man. I am Willie G. This is Miss Audrey.
All right, y'all.
We got the Queen in the building, Miss Keandra.
Queen Keandra in the building.
Hey, and we are No Labels Podcast, man. Love y'all. We out of here.
All right, we out.
That was good, guys.
All right.
Very engaging, really good.
All right.